welcome back to my channel. I want to do some more complicated knitting stuff with you guys eventually, but I need to make sure that you can knit. So I decided to do a mini series on just knitting basics, everything really to get you started. Today we're going to do the slip knot and casting on, which both go hand in hand. I will do a right-handed demonstration and then I will also do a left-handed demonstration. And the other thing you need to know is that the yarn and the needles that I'm using are the biggest that I have, and it's just for ease of watching me do the demonstration. But you can do this with smaller needles and smaller thread, which is what most people generally have. So yeah, let's just get right to it. So first we need to start with our slip knot. I'm a right-handed person, so I'm going to take the right strand, put it over top of the left, and then with the strand that you put over top, you always bring that one up through the middle. There's your slip knot. It's called a slip knot because it slips. You can make it bigger, and you can make it smaller enough that it just goes away. Now, if I were a left-handed person, I take the left strand, put it over top of the right one, and then just as the last time, you take the one that you put over top of the other one and you bring a loop up through the bottom. And there's your slip knot. Right-handed and left-handed. One more time, right-handed. Right hand goes over top and then a loop comes up through the bottom with the same strand. Left-handed, left hand goes over top and then a loop goes up through the bottom with the same strand. And there we have our slip knot. So now we have our slip knot and we need to cast on. I'll show you my needle. Where's the size? There it is. Now when you're casting on, you put the working needle in your right hand if you're right-handed, and then you tighten your slip knot up to the bottom of it so that it's not too loose, but it's not too tight. That's actually a little bit too loose still. You just don't want to, there we go, that's perfect. You are going to be putting another needle through there eventually, so you just don't want it so loose that it falls right off the back end of your needle, but you don't want it so tight that when you go to knit back along all the stitches that you've cast on, it'll snap your yarn if it's too tight. So yeah, what you do, you have your working needle in your right hand, and then with your left hand you take your thumb and your pointer finger and you put the tips together like this, and then you put those two through the two strands that are coming off the bottom of your needle, and then you grab the slack with your pinky and your ring finger. You open up your thumb and your pointer finger, and then you pull the needle back down through the middle. So essentially you have 1 strand, 2, 3, 4 to work with. And what we want to work with today is strand number 1 and strand number 3. But if it's easier for you to think about it this way, we're working with the strand that's closest to us on our thumb and closest to us on our pointer finger. And what we're doing with those 2 strands is we're taking the tip of the needle and we're making a figure 8 and grabbing those 2 strands as we go. So here we go. We're going to start the figure 8, pick up strand number 1, and then we're continuing on with the figure 8, pick up strand number 3, and then there's our loop on our needle. And now we have 2 stitches cast on. I'll do another example. Again, grab it like this. Pull down through the middle. Figure 8, start right here if you want to. Grab number 1, figure 8, grab number 3, and then there's another strand. Stitch, I mean to say, cast onto our needle. So if we're doing that left-handed, we obviously switch the working hand over to the left hand. We take the tips of our thumb and our pointer finger again. We go through the middle, down like that, and then grab the slack again with the ring finger and the pinky. open this up and then pull this down, and you have 1 closest to you, 2, 3 closest to you, and 4. Again, we're working with number 1 and number 3. You'll have to excuse me, I'm not left-handed, so this isn't going to be quite as smooth. But start with the figure 8, and you grab number 1 closest to you on your thumb, just like the other side. And you grab number 3 closest to you on your pointer finger. And there's your loop. You just tighten it up on the bottom. Now we have 4 stitches. Cast it on. We'll do one more example on the left side here. I'll do this better actually. Sorry guys. Do that. See that? Now start your figure 8. Grab number 1. Keep going with the figure 8. Grab number 3. And there we have another stitch. So yeah, that's the basics of casting on. And there you have it. 5 stitches. Okay, good luck guys. Keep up the good work.